So I'm just getting ready to go on a trip up island for about a week or so, and I thought I'd do a quick video on my truck and some of the work I've done to it over the winter time. You can see I towed this trailer with it. I just recently put a 460 EFI guys stage 2 cam in this. It's got a little bit of a lopey idle. Just show you under the hood really quick. About 5 years ago I put a set of headers on this thing, and I took the Thermac air injection off, and I also removed the EGR. And at that time I installed a tweaker piggyback tuning chip that plugs into the J3 port on the ECU, and I can change the calibration or the tune of this truck to suit the changes that I've made to it. I've also just recently installed a wideband O2 sensor, and that wideband O2 can be connected. You can take the EGR position sensor input wire, and you connect your output of your wideband controller to that, and that will give you the ability to log the wideband O2 data on your tweaker. Underneath you can see I've got my old headers on here that I installed 5 years ago. I ordered a new set, and coincidentally they just arrived in Vancouver today, so I'll be looking forward to changing those, because these are getting fairly rusty. They're actually not as bad as I thought they were when I pulled them off over the winter, but this Y pipe is getting pretty thin, so it'll come with a new powder coated Y pipe. You can see I cut the ball and socket style collector. I use these V-band clamp style. I actually saw it on 460 EFI guys, and it's actually a really good idea. Gives a nice solid seal that never loosens off. I also replaced the front fuel tank and the rear fuel tank, and I rebuilt my rear posi. I've got kind of a temporary looking exhaust on here, again because I just sort of fabbed it up while I'm waiting for my new headers to come in. The sound isn't too bad though. It's not any louder than anything else on the streets around here. Yeah, so looking inside, I'll show you the one of the bonus things of the tweaker tuner as well is that it has a multi-position switch. You have 3 positions where you can store your separate calibrations or tunes. Currently I have a performance tune, then I have my tow haul tune for my trailer, and then on number 3 I have the stock calibration with the Thermac and the EGR logic disabled, and a couple other little changes I've made to it. But it's my fallback in case I go a little crazy with the adjustments on these two and make it so it doesn't run, which can happen. Here's the wideband O2. I never actually thought having a gauge there would be all that handy, but it actually is quite valuable when you're sitting idling and you're just watching to see how the fuel ratio is, or cruising on the highway. Even though you can log data, it's kind of nice to be able to watch that too. So I think that's about all I got to say. One thing actually I will say is Russell at 460 EFI guys is a really great guy. He's super helpful. Any questions I had in regard to this cam and little things that came up, he was very good, very responsive. He even phoned me one day, and I was actually quite surprised because I never asked him to phone me, but he just did. So that's pretty good service these days. So I've got my camera mounted in a way that you can see the speedometer and the tach and the wideband gauge, but unfortunately my GoPro doesn't really pick up the LEDs. It's not fast enough. But this will give you a good idea of how it works. The trailer I'm towing weighs about 5,000 pounds. A little bit of a downhill stretch right here, and then a hill coming up. I don't think I've revved this thing past 4,500 since I put the cam in. It pulls really well. So even up to just 4,000 RPM, it seems to have tons of power, and you know, just driving on the road. But I'll step on it up this hill here once I get over these bumps. So just accelerating there. Just try and manage here off the line. So it shifts, what am I doing, the 70k there, 40 miles an hour, shifted at about 4,200. This is a sort of a rural residential road, so I can't really give her too fast down here. But yeah, it's got plenty of power, tons of power, more than I really need for towing this trailer. So yeah, that's a quick run around the neighborhood. Shows you a little bit on how well this works. So I'd highly recommend this EFI guy's Stage 2 cam. Yeah, that's all I got for today, and thanks for watching.